of a 365 days book. So fill it with your positive effort. So with this, a very positive good evening to all esteemed member of Team Research Foundation of India, but distinguished subject expert, Dr. Kunal Soni sir and all dear participants. I am Nikita Khandelwal, the program coordinator for the FDP on practical aspect and ICT tool and online teaching in current scenario. This FDP is organized on behalf of Research Foundation of India. I heartily welcome you all on behalf of Research Foundation of India. This education journey has been made possible through the collaborative efforts of the RFI in association with Shodh Malwa and BPIT Group, and with the generous sponsorship of JHERF, ARGA, Aero Academy INC, and as we all know that today, it is marked the day one of our FDP program, which could be possible only because of the Research Foundation of India. So, Research Foundation of India is strictly working for the social upliftment and higher education quality and Indian research promotion in the form of events like international national conferences, seminars, workshops, symposium, and other activities. Research Foundation of India works for the integration of intellectual ideas across the globe to fulfill the thrust of innovation of humanity. RFI is concerned with improving the educational process by encouraging scholarly inquiry related to education and practical application of research results. RFI is working for research and development for higher education. It has also signed MOU with top universities of India. RFI's members are faculty researchers, graduate students, and other distinguished professionals with rich and diverse expertise in education and research. RFI does not take any financial sponsorship for any government body, and RFI has organized 1,000 plus international conferences and workshops, FTP symposia, and all over the world. Now, RFI having 87 chapters in India and 18 chapters in Asian other countries and categorized in 5 boards: West, East, South, North, and Central Zone. So, with this, as we all know that it's a day one of our FDP and it's a 2nd of January of our new year of 2025. And before we head towards our session, let's have a look on our experts' achievement journey. So, very positive good evening, sir. Dr. Krunal Soni sir is an associate professor of finance and accounting at School of Management, GSFC University, Vadodara. Sir has a total of 10 years of experience in academics and 3 years of industrial experience. And his qualification, it includes BBA in Finance, MBA in Finance, Qualified Gujarat Set in Management, PhD in Management, Diploma in Foreign Exchange and Risk Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Research and Methodology, and BCom in Accounting and Taxation. Sir has total of 24 publications in various reputable journals like Scopus, ABDC, UGC Cares, Web of Science, etc., including a patented Government of India under the Intellectual Property Right Act 1970, for which Sir has received the loyalty grant for his innovation in finance on the topic called Techno Innovation and Growth of Indian Share Market. Sir has received three Best Research Paper Award in various international conferences organized by different academic institutions and sponsored by UGC and AICTE. Sir was awarded the Best Faculty of Management Department at Parul Institute of Management, Parul University, Vadodara. And he has been invited 130 plus times by various business schools, UGC, HRDC, and research institutes across India as a part of resource person and session chair on the various topics for research, data analysis tools and techniques, entrepreneurship skills, and ICT tools. Sir has delivered the training on the different analytical software like SPSS, AMOS, Smart PLS, eViews, Advanced Excel, R program, etc. Sir has attended more than 20 plus faculty development programs arranged by the IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Vishakhapatnam, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Vadodara Management Association, and many more. Sir has presented more than 19 plus research papers at various national and international conferences across India and USA, along with 17 seminars and workshops. So, with this, I feel it's my honor to invite Dr. Kunal Soni sir on RFI's platform. Sir, it's an honor that very exceptional and highly esteemed personality, Dr. Krunal Soni sir, which is renowned for his precision and expertise, is here on our platform. So with this, now I would request you to please hold the footrest. Now, next is yours.
Thank you, madam, for the brief introduction. So very highly appreciated the way you introduced. It was commendable. So thanks RFI team, and let's good evening all of you for the first day of this FTP program on practical aspect of ICT tools and technologies. Right. So today we have the session of ICT tools and effective presentation skills. So with that note, just confirm the screen sharing.
It's visible, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Yeah. So ICT and effective presentation skills. So, how to use ICT tools, why to use ICT tools, and how to utilize those ICT tools to have productive outputs, as far as the journey of academics is concerned, and, the development of students is concerned, the concept of understanding is concerned, the concept of downloading, the concept and clarities among the students. Right. So this is what, this is the talk of the town, and this all question needs to be answered in a very proper and effective manner. And that's where ICT is not only restricted up to only the faculty level. Right now, the students are also focusing upon these particular aspect, that they are also imposing the utilization of ICT tools in a maximum manner. Right. So today is an era and where no faculties can avoid the utilization of ICT tool for their day-to-day activities. Because to bring the efficiency, to bring the effectiveness, it is essential that we utilize the ICT tools and bring some productivity which are expected by the students from us. Right. So that is where this is what the presentation things that I want to say. Let's start with the detailed explanation. Right. So first of all, before making the utilization of ICT tools in higher education and how to make your presentation to be effective, so there are various reasons, right? So what are the reasons? So reasons are always belongs to the goals, right? Why we are running higher education, right? What is expecting from the students as far as the higher education is concerned, right? What is our expectation from the students as far as when we talks about the primary goals of higher education, right? So these are the all questions that needs to be answered. So the first is the primary goal. So primary goal is the employability. So employability in a sense, whatsoever things that we are developing among the students, whatever we are teaching to our students, we must need to ensure that they should have the employability. Means we should teach the concept, we should teach the content to the students which are required by the industries, right? Which is a requirement of the industry. If at all we are not teaching the concept to the students, which is not as far as the expectations of the industry, then the ultimate purpose of running the education system is not serving, right? Because if at all students are not getting benefit, then the curriculum, the course matrix that we are following is not going to up to the mark, right? So where the ICT plays an important role, because we need to stay updated, right? Whatever the changes which is taking place, we need to incorporate such changes as far as the ICT tools is concerned, right? So that is where we have to make it. When we talks about employability, we also talks about the earning potentials, right? We have to increase among the students. So earning potentials is also going to play a very important role, because the education is not only restricted up to make the students placed in any of the corporate, but at the same time, after the placement, we have to develop, we have to groom the students in such a way that even after the employment, they should have the earning potential. When I'm using the word called earning potential, I'm using it very wisely, because it's not up to provide them a placement at the first instance. But at the same time, we have to develop our students in such a way that they should have some edge over the, the uniqueness, the clarity on the concept or the area in which they're dealing with the corporate, right? So they should turn out to be, something different. And that's where the ICT tools plays a significant role. Advanced knowledge. So obviously, when we talks about earning potentiality, when we talks about employability, so this always comes when the students are more advanced, when the students are more updated, right? and that's where the ICT plays an important role, right? It makes us aware about the various innovations, that has been taken place. Even with the utilization of ICT tools, we make our content to be more significant in terms of data, facts, figures, right? So that's where the understanding among the students for the concept is going to be very high, and that's where they will develop a clear understanding about the topics, and that's where the ICT tools play a significant role. And that's where wisdom, right? So students are allowed to decide what they want to learn, right? We have to allow them to find out the ways for the different concept or topic that we are taking into the practices, right? So wisdom needs to be provided to the students, and research and experimentation, right? So ICT tools nowadays is playing a significant role as far as the data is concerned, as far as the research is concerned on any of the topic that we are learning in our day-to-day life, right? So we need to develop our students in such a way that they should be properly executed, they are properly done with all the research and experimentation process that we have to done as far as the education goal is concerned for the ICT tools utilization part, right? So that is the primary goal for which ICT tools plays an important role to achieve the higher education goal, right? So in all the goals, right now, the ICT tools are inbound parameter that no one can ignore at this point of time. Now, what is the secondary goal? So spiritual growth, obviously. Spiritual means if the students are confident with the utilization of ICT tools, they are well versed about the day-to-day utilization of ICT tools. They are very much aware about what to get, how to get, right? And at the same time, they are directly concerned with daily updates on the topic or area or the specialization in which they are dealing with. I think nothing more is required from the student point of view, right? That is the growth of spirituality, right? So that is where the spiritual growth is playing a significant role. Mental growth. So obviously we are forcing students to use ICT tools, and when we are forcing students to ICT tools, that means we are forcing them to use the critical thinking power as far as their mental growth is concerned, right? So we are forcing them to think about it, we are forcing them to invent something innovative, and we are forcing them to make something innovative, and that's where their mental growth is also going to be play a significant role. Engaging in question answer, obviously. So whenever they are coming out with some innovative idea, or if at all we have given some innovative projects to be solved to the students, so we must applause and we must ensure that they should utilize all the tools and techniques which are applicable in their domain area. And that's where whenever the submission will come out, we also need to ensure that we should ask for the clarity, right? Whether they have done it, there are demerits of ICT tools also. Sometimes students are missing their intellectual power, right? So at the same time, innovativeness is always there in ICT tools, but we also need to engage them in question answer. And by doing question answer, we must need to ensure that the conceptual clarity needs to be developed among the students for the concept that we are dealing with, and facilitating better lifestyle. So if at all students are having all this potentiality with the proper utilization of ICT tools and make your presentations or whatsoever projects in which they are working, so it helps them to provide better lifestyle. In a sense, the demands for this kind of candidates for the corporates is always going to be high, and the demand always pays the higher payment in the market, and that's where it helps them to achieving the better lifestyle. And whenever we talks about the scientific outlooks, so nowadays the Google is outdated, rather I can say. Now Google is outdated, so who is making a significant role? So ICT tools is playing a significant role, where you don't have to search, you just put the query and you have all the answers for the questions that you have it, right? So that's where we are developing scientific outlooks by having all the facts and figures for the topic or the problems that we are searching for, and through which we can have the scientific outlooks for the problems. Now, with that consideration, if at all we need to talk about the objectives, utilizations, and the parameters of ICT tools, so they are working on three major dimensions. So first of all, it brings the creativity. What is the meaning of it? So whenever we are dealing with the presentation, we have to take out something extra. We have already done through the doctorate, or we must have undergone with the research journey, where drafting of research paper is very challenging task. And why it is challenging task? So the major challenge is to identify the right research gap for the right problem, and how to identify the right research problems and gap. So that is through the creativity, that is through the proper knowledge, deepest knowledge of the topic in which we are planning to draft a paper, and through which we can bring the creativity into the practices. The same way, ICT tools, it completely depends upon the user's creativity, how you are using, where you are using, and how much you are using, right? So you should know all the ifs and buts for the utilization of ICT tools, and that's where the creativity will plays a significant role for the development of the users, right? So creativity is one of the important parameters. Then competitiveness, obviously you should not avoid the ICT utilization, because if you stay into the competition, you have to stay updated. And when you want to stay updated, you need to have the proper and modernized data. You have modernized techniques to compete with the others. And these techniques in nowadays is nothing but the ICT tools and techniques through which you can make your content impressive, positive, facts and figures. You can make it, attractive. So this is what the effective presentation skills we can say. Effective presentation skill doesn't, rely nowadays in having the good theme of the presentation slides, but it always relies upon how the quantum of the data is, qualitative. It's okay if you are preparing 5 slides, but that should be, completely practical. It should be completely problem oriented. And when we are saying that it is a problem oriented, that means it is backed by the data oriented. And how the data needs to be derived, it needs to be derived from the different problems that we are deriving from the different papers through the ICT tools utilizations. And that's where we are making our presentations to be competitive. Clear? So this is the second parameters. And the third one is collaborating, right? So we always have to work with the collaborative efforts with other researchers and other academicians as far as our academic growth is concerned. So that is where the collaborative efforts needs to be done, right? So complete collaborations among the different peoples needs to be done. So that is where the collaboration between one researcher to other to third, and third to fourth, right? So this is what it's called, collaborative efforts. So collaborations among the people, collaborative efforts will always work out. If at all you don't know some tools of ICT, you must be collaborative with others, and through which you must learn it. Rather than avoiding, we should always collaborate, right? So this is the best alternative of the people who are making avoidance of the modern tools and techniques. You don't need to avoid, rather you should collaborate, right? So that's how you will find the right solution, right? So this is what is required from the great academicians. For the overall student development, you also have to take an initiative to think, work, to learn the things as per the requirements of the need of an hour. And if you do this kind of all these three things, so what ICT tools will help you to achieve as far as your academic journey is concerned, from the point of view of academicians and the students, is called the harmony in the society. Means you being an academician needs to be proven to be very competitive. At the same time, if the competitive academicians will guide and monitor and mentor the students in that manner, so the students are always going to be stay competitive. And the market always demands the person who is stay competitive, right? So that is where the competitiveness will always comes out in the society, when the person needs to be have creativity, competitiveness, and the collaboration, right? So that's where the win-win situation for the society, right? So that is what is major dimension of ICT tools. What are the types of ICT tools we will discuss? So obviously it's a YouTube for the video session. So whatsoever content that you want to learn, if at all you don't know any process, even if you don't know how to generate OTP for your lost debit card, right? Or even if you want to learn how to generate OTP for the new credit card or debit card from the ATM card, so you should always go with YouTube, and it have a detailed description of all the process. Nothing to get a pain and nothing to ask anyone, right? Everything is available on YouTube. So yes, YouTube is one of the aspect. So if at all you are facing any problems related to the concept that you are dealing, so always you can go for YouTube. Then you have Wikipedia. So Wikipedia is another platform where the content needs to be derived. The contents are available in terms of the history of the content that you are looking for, historical backgrounds of the content that you are looking for. So yes, the Wikipedia is another platform. So these are the Google parameters. You can have Google Words, Excel spreadsheet. You can have Google Forms through which you can conduct the quiz. You can conduct a survey, right? So these are the contexts. So even if you want to change your mobile number, or even if you want to track your mobile numbers into your PC, so you can also do it with the Google context. So if at all you have saved your contacts into Google account, So it will be automatically saved into Google Contacts, right? So this is also the facility which is available. Gmail, Google Calendars for the reminders as and when you are opening your PC. So it always pop up in your window, right? So there is a less chance that you will miss out some important meetings, some important dates in terms of examination, paper setting, even from the student's point of view also, project submission deadline. So all these things needs to be, incorporate, execute with the utilization of ICT tools. Now is a day that you do not remember everything to be manually, right? You have to stay updated with the ICT utilization. So these are the important Google groups which help you out in a terms to make your work easy and effectively, right? At the same time, you should not miss out the deadlines or important things which is consider for the growth and upliftment of your life. So this is what Google groups. Google Docs, I have already said, if at all you want to do some projects among 5 to 6 people by sitting at your home. So instead of doing projects into the Google, MS Word, you should always utilize Google Docs. So multiple people can access these docs and they can add the content into it. And at the same point of time, the content is ready if at all the work has been segregated among the people. So you should know how to segregate the works, how to take the works from the others, and at the same time, how to make your students to be, more competent, right? So you should guide them, you should teach them with this kind of tools and techniques by giving them some projects and allow them to work on this kind of parameters. So they will also learn the utilization of this kind of tools and they will utilize this kind of practices. If at all they have proceed today, then they would be able to utilize by tomorrow, right? So this is the duty of the faculties, that they should take care of this parameter. Blocks. We also force the students to learn and read the various important blocks among the various experts, so that students should develop their understanding. Students also develop how to make a write-up on particular topics, which are the important words, important terminologies for particular topics which has been utilized in the market by the various experts. So if at all students are going with this kind of blocks, so they will create some basic understanding. Google Maps, so all know, so I'm not going detail about it. Slide share, so if at all you are looking for preparing some slides or presentation on certain topics, so I think you are all well versed about it. So SlideShare is also providing some ready-made presentation, but you should not copy and paste ethically. But yeah, definitely you can take the help of the slides, and depending upon that, you can modify the content and you can prepare it. So important sources of information. Wiki spaces. So this is one of the platform where you can get information about the various topics that you are looking for. Skype is an online platform, just like today we are using Google Meet. But if I'll go back to 10 years back, then Skype was a platform where the video calling was possible, right? So Skype was the first platform where, the Indians have experienced the Google, video calling. Dropbox is another platform, just like a Gmail. Facebook is a social media, right? So everyone should get connected. They should track the activities of the other people's activity in terms of the social activity, achievements, professional development, or any other sad moments also, right? So you stay connected, stay updated, and you should also get an idea what is happening surrounded by the society, right? So some people say that you should avoid social media. I say that you should avoid social media by, maximum utilization, but at least you should not completely avoid the social media, because you have to stay updated what is happening in the market, who is in the market, who is the expert in the market, how to connect with the experts. So nobody is helping you out except the social media, right? So social media plays an important role. We have to ignore at some level for, not important utilization, but yeah, for major things, we should at least have some glimpse of the utilization of social media. Twitter, you can here the experts, now it has been X, right? So people are sharing their opinions, right? So where you have to track the opinions about the certain, some important parameters, some important events, right? Some important inventions, right? So you have to follow this on the Twitter. Digo is another platform. SlideShare we have already discussed. Mozilla Firefox is a search engine which you can utilize as an important source of information for getting any of the information on any of the topics. And Google Chrome, right? So it is not hide from anyone. Everyone knows it. Role of ICT tools. So yes, it was a ray of hope in the pandemics, right? So we all should not forget the 2019 pandemic, where the people were not able to meet each other, and that's where the ICT tool plays an important role. So how it has played an important role. So ICT was become an integral part of the today's teaching learning process. So earlier, if I'll remember 2019, then people were not knowing what is, Google Meet, what is Zoom, right? If I'm not wrong. And the people was wondering how the classes should happen. Then suddenly the India has adopted the online teaching process. So already this resources was there in the third generation country. But the moment the pandemic has brought into the picture, people have been forced to utilize, the entire academic activity was completely stopped. And it was a major challenge for the UGC and all the academic body, how to make it uninterrupted teaching learning process. And that's where the ICT has played a significant role, to make uninterrupted teaching learning process. I can say even it is more better. Today we have conducted this online on this Google Meets, right? So this is also one of the ICT tools, right, through which the uninterrupted teaching learning process has been possible, irrespective of the geographical boundaries, I can say, right? You all are from different domain. I'm from the Gujarat, right? So this is where the uninterrupted learning has been possible with the utilization of ICT tools, right? So yes, it's not like that ICT tool is only restricted up to India. You can also connect with the person with the ICT tool utilization, whether the person has been seated into, the USA, UK, Canada. So the geographical boundary has been vanished, and now you have the collaborative efforts for all the topics that you are going for, so sky is a limit now, right? So you can contact any person, you can work with any person, and you can bring the wonders into the market. So that is what is happening in the globe. Benefits of effective utilization of ICT tools. What is a benefit? So it motivates the students, right? So if at all students don't want to come, or might be there are some limitations of the students who is residing into rural areas, or the students who is coming from the economical backward family, right, where they don't have the money to, come here, stay with the PG, stay with the transportation costing. So yes, so they can enroll for any of the courses through the online mode, and they can learn as much as they want from the different experts across the globe, right? So that is not a boundary now, that, so nothing is non reachable for anyone, right? Everything is reachable for everyone. It's just because how we are, incorporating ourselves in terms of the modern updates which is happening into the market, right? So that is where you have to motivate the students, make session more attentive and interesting. Yes, so right now the PPT is going on, right? So it is completely upon the presenter or the faculties, how they can make their session engaging, right? How the people focused upon the things, right? So it is completely depends upon the session experts, how to make the session interesting. Re-energize teachers' motivation. So obviously, it is also important that if you want to, re-energize, means you should arrange some orientation program, some refresher program, where you need to refresh the faculties for the modern innovation and teaching learning happening across the globe, right? So that's where the teachers are getting re-energized, updated, right? So when teachers are getting updated with the modern technologies, so the confidence among the teachers are always going to be on the higher side, right? So that is where the re-energizing among the teachers motivation is also one of the important parameters. Learn new skills and techniques. So always stay updated, always learn new softwares, new concept, always expand your boundaries, right? So don't restrict your boundaries, you should expand your boundaries. How to expand the boundaries? Stay connected, maximum utilize the ICT tools, search engines, right? That's where you will always come into the picture with the new things, new innovations, new data, new techniques, new findings, right? And that's where you can, enhance your ability in terms of the better faculties and better mentors. Then help students to understand the concept clearly, right? So ICT to also help the students to understand the concept clearly. How? As I told you, the ICT tool always help you out to find out the facts and figures about the topic and concept that we are teaching to the students. And always believe me, meaning characteristics will all not create any understanding among the students. But if you try to teach that concept with facts and figure, correlation, association, you know, so the understanding, the level of understanding that students will develop, this is for lifetime, right? So that is the benefit of the ICT tools, right? So yes, So ICT tools is blessing in disguise in COVID pandemic, right? So that's where it's a mixed model of textbook and technology. So yes, earlier the model was only restricted up to physical education, classroom teaching, where students are not having access of the multiple tools and techniques. Now students can anytime search out what we are teaching into the classes, right? So now the generation has gone through the tech friendly. So now the faculty also needs to be tech friendly, and we have to meet with the new generation. That's why it has been said that faculty always needs to stay younger, and that is how, through the updation. And updation always comes from the modern technologies which is happening, and at the same time faculty should also adopt it. And that is possible in nowadays through the utilization of ICT tools. Yes, so it was a seed of creativity and the time of pandemic, and today also it is the same. Now the upgradation of ICT tool has gone more beyond than what we were happening or what we were utilizing in the time of pandemic. And most importantly, why people are focusing weightage on ICT tools, because provides the learning opportunity to the economical backward students and the person who is residing into the rural area, where they have the limitations to connect with the transportations to the urban areas, or the distance might be the large. So this boundary has gone up, right? So yes, so it has breached the gap between the variety of content among the different language. So if at all you are from different location, you can always stay updated with the experts, and you can also transform the lectures of the expert into your own language through the Google translators also, right? So this is possible through the ICT tools, right? So there is no boundary for learning as far as teachers and students is concerned in the modern era of ICT tools and techniques. So let's see what are the modern tools, right? So these are the online courses platforms that we have seen it, right? So you can always utilize this Swayam platform, which is approved by the MHRD and Government of India, right? Coursera, it's an international platform where the various university professors have uploaded the lectures, and you can always enroll for these courses and stay updated with all the tools and techniques which are applicable into your domain area. So the Coursera is also providing domain specific expertise, right, for the different topics that you can enroll, and you can certify yourself with this MOOC courses. Harvard University is also providing, so you can always join this MOOC courses through online with the Harvard University portal. Baiju, now it is outdated, but yes, it was one of the flourishing learning platform at one point of time, before 5 years back, for all this primary and pre-primary students. So all the materials were available for Baiju. IIM Bangalore is also providing the MOOC courses for all the retail management programs or any other management field if you are looking for. Google Digital Garage is also providing certifications to all the students who are looking for the multiple course in terms of commerce, management, engineering, technology. So all the courses are available in the Google platform also. So you just enroll it, clear it, and get certified yourself. And stay updated. Most important. The certification is not important, but the real understanding, real grasping power, real capability that we can download to the students among the faculty is much more important in this ICT tools and effective presentation. So yes, IIT Madras is also providing courses for the various degrees and diploma courses in data science and all the technological programs that we are looking for. And now it has not been restricted up to IIT Madras, but majorly all the IITs are providing this kind of programs through the online platform. IIM Ahmedabad is also providing online PG program for the management students, right? So you can always enroll for it if you are interested. It is, so this is how you can proceed. Even if you want to search out any of the details for any of the courses, you can always utilize the ICT tools, right? So ICT tool is everywhere, right? Nowhere you can avoid the utilization of ICT tool. Even to reach from one ICT tool to another ICT tool, you have to go through the one ICT tool utilization. So this is what the facts of the today's era, right? So that is where you should not forget the utilization of ICT tool, and at the same time, you should not avoid the utilization. Online classroom. So yes, you can connect through the Zoom platform, right? You can also connect with the Classing, right? So Classing is another platform. So we are having a Google Meet. So same way, Classing is another platform where the faculties was conducting classes even during the COVID-19, and today also it is running, but I think it is not much in utilization. Majorly Zoom and Google Meet in India we are utilizing because we have adopted in a very sincere manner, and I think they are providing better services, without technical errors. So yes, and they are also providing the recording facility, right? So this session is also being recorded, right? So if at all any times the person needs to recollect some concept from this recording, so obviously they can utilize, right? So this is a benefit which we are using from the ICT tools, right? So even the session has been already gone, but if at all you want to recollect what has been said in the classes, you can again go for a recording and you can re-verify. Earlier in physical classroom it was not possible, right? So that is what the transformation has been changed, right? So transformation has happened, and due to which the scenario has been changed, and scenario has been more in favor and more learning perspective, right? So the environment is more learning perspective. GoToMeeting is another platform where the faculty can conduct the classes. Microsoft Team is another platform for conducting online classes for the faculties. Google Meet, right now we are on Google Meet. Schoology is another platform, and Big Blue Button. So this is few examples which I have portrayed over here. I'm not saying that these are the only 7 platforms where you can conduct the online classes. Might be there are other platforms which are there as a part of online classes, but majorly this was the only utilized platforms, right, at the time of COVID-19 and till today, right? Majorly these 2 platforms are utilized in a more proper way and highest manner, right? So this is what the online classroom teaching tools. Now, once the classroom has been conducted, the major challenge that every faculty need to face is how to evaluate the students what they have learned in the classes, right? So that is where the evaluation pattern needs to be decided during the COVID-19. And today also it has been running for all the CEC component, right? That we are looking for, day-to-day activity. If at all we want to conduct some classes, surprise test, surprise quiz. So how to conduct this? So this ICT tools is helping us like anything. Just generate the quiz. The evaluation will be done by ICT tools. You don't have to evaluate the papers also, right? So this is the facility that we are receiving from the ICT tools platforms. So that is Google Form Quiz is one platform. Think Exam is another platforms, right? So through which the person can, create an exam and conduct the exams and also have the mark sheet in the hands. Flexi Quiz is another platform where the students can conduct the exams. Testmos.com, very good platform, even I have utilized. So for every subject, for every test, you have to conduct a separate classroom. And under the classroom, you can also create some messages. You can also provide some grades to the students like CGPA, right? And you can shuffle the questions also, question patterns also. You can also create some, quiz A, quiz B, quiz C, quiz D for all, the same questions that you are asking. And at once you have to create the time window for the, starting time and ending time. And then after it will be closed, and it will also show you the results of the students. And it is not up to only restricted up to showing the result of the student, but it will also show you the the graphical representation of the data for the total marks which has been obtained by the students in the different questions, right? So that will also show you the pattern of understanding of the students among the concept that we have teach to the students. So that is testmos.com. Profros Quiz Maker is another platform, right? So ICT resources for education. So yes, we need monitors if at all we want to conduct a classes online through, or if at all we want to make some presentations. So yes, the screen is required. The this kind of PowerPoint presentation needs to show that this is, this kind of tools are required. Laptop or PC is must. These are the hard drives which I'm talking about. And this is the software, like, if at all you are talking about effective presentation skills. So if you want to make your presentation effective, then you have the Microsoft PowerPoint, you have Prezi.com, you have Canva to make a, graphical representation or, image representation of certain topics, poster making or something. So even you can make it in Canva and you can paste it in PowerPoint or Prezi. So these are the platforms which you can utilize. Even you can utilize Google Docs also for the certificate creations, right? If at all you are, appearing for any online, like in this FDP only, you will learn how to make e-certificates, right? One by one of the expert. So they will always belongs to Google Docs, right? So you create a certificate pattern into Google Docs, and you will try to link with Google Forms. So moment the person will submit the response, the certificate will automatically get placed among these people, right? So these are the facilities which has been available with ICT tools for education, right? So this makes a significant difference in the market, right? And that is nothing but ICT resources for education. How to make effective presentation skills, right? So there are two key themes for today's session. So one, we have completed ICT tools, and now we'll talk about how effective presentation skill needs to be demonstrated. So yes, when we talks about effective presentation skill, we talks about communication, the way of communication, right, that we are adopting in terms of various speaking situations, such as whether you are talking to a group of people or you are addressing an important meeting or briefing the team, right? So depending upon the purpose of conducting the communication, the style of communication may vary, and that is called the presentation skill, right? The way you behave, the way you talk, and the way you put an importance to the concept and the situation, that is nothing but the way the person is making presentations, right? Are you just briefing the group? Are you just taking the review, or are you making some allotment of work among the people, right? So these are the important parameters that we need to see, and accordingly we have to take a decision. When we talks about presentation skills, so what needs to be done before making presentation? So the person should be well planned in a sense, what need to present, why to present, how to present, right? The conceptual clarity needs to be clear before starting the presentation, right? It should not be like that during the presentation we are learning. I'm not saying that complete idea needs to be there, but I'm saying that the rough idea always be there, right? 50% of the clarity should always be there when we are making for presentation, right? Because it's not like that we are seeing others presentation and we are just copy and paste and go on the way they have presented, we are also doing the same, then nothing difference will be created, right? Market will not adopt you if at all you are preparing this, right? So prepare in a sense, the preparation of the presentation needs to be very clear, formatting, theme, visibility. Sometimes people are coming with the presentation, and when they are presenting to in front of people, they are not caring about the visibility part of the audience. So even if you have worked like anything, but if your content is not visible, how people will read the presentation, and the entire presentation will go into dustbin, right? So very, very important that at least once you complete your presentation, you must see to it that is the slide visible to you, then you consider that it is visible to others, right? If at all otherwise, there is no meaning of doing presentation. Practice. If at all you are new to the presentation, or you are making presentation of any topic for the first time, even though you are experienced, so at least once you have to try and practice at home before going for the final appearance of the presentation, right? So that's where the efficiency, effectiveness will always going to be on the higher side, and you will be confident enough at the time of making presentation. If that assignment is very, very important for all of you, right? And for this you can also utilize ICT tools. There is no boundary for that. And at the same time, the presentation needs to be very proper jargons, the weightage, the pause, everything needs to be very properly well managed, and that's where you can create an impact to your target audience, whether it is students or whether it is your boss or whosoever clients is there, right? So that makes an impact, that makes a difference. What is planning? So you should decide who is your target audience, because it is very, very important that if at all we are preparing any content, we should always take into consideration the target audience, right? Why are they there, right? Why the audience is here? The purpose of presentation. The today's topic is ICT tools and presentation skill, right? So my presentation should always consist this topics only. It should not be away from the objective, right? That is the target audience requirements. That is called goal, right? And how long it should be? I have been given 1 hour, so I should ensure that I should finish my presentation in restricted time period. 5 minutes is okay, but not more than that, because we have to take the time constraint of other. If the person is from the higher authority, so you should not ask for the extra spare per time, right? So we make sure that you should always portray those things which are very, very important for your presentation, and that's where you can create an impact in the minds of people, and what it will be take place, right? So that is what I told you, most important content needs to be in the presentation, that create a complete and clear understanding. Prepare. So yes, for preparation, you should use various utilization tools. If video is required, any visual aids, if we require, any appearance, style of font, images, any question needs to be portrayed. So all this in the hands of presenters, and the way he is making, right, it is completely depends upon the presenter and how he can create his presentation to be more impactful. But to create impactfulness, the presenter needs to utilize those parameters to make their presentation to be on effective sides. The structure of the presentation is introduction, right, where you should try to grab the attention of the audience, because at the time of beginning the audience are not so much attentive, but you have to make them attentive by making your presentation to be more effective. When you reach to the main theme, we must ensure that the audience should be attentive, then only they can actually grab the things which we are here to make them grab. Otherwise, if the audience are not attentive and they lose the interest in the beginning part, then I think the purpose for which you are here today will not serve, even if it is for business deal, or even if it is more important concept for the students' point of view for the exams also. They will not give you more attention, right? So this is very crucial part, right? So this is very crucial part. If you create your good image in the beginning, it will download over here, and this is where the actual purpose of the presentation needs to be served. And at the same time, if the audience has been understanding what you are trying to say, then only they will understand what key message that you want to pass out as a part of summary and conclusion. That is where here in this stage, we are actually talking about the actual deal that we want to make it for our students in terms of the concept understanding, or even if you are going with the corporate, we are making here the key presentation, key announcement of the deals that we are making. So yes, this is a structure of presentation that we have to make. Even it is applicable to research paper also. Initial part, main structure, main text body, and this is the end part. Okay. So prompt, right? Prompt in terms of, you should not use the entire sentences, right? Nobody's interested to read your sentence, but you should use the bullet points, jargons, most important keywords, right? That should be very catchy to the people, right? So the content are small, the people will easily read and understand, right? But if the content are so bulky, people lose the interest, and at the same time, it looks very dirty, right? People lose the interest. How to create interest among people? So your presentation should be very neat and clean, not too much bulky, but yes, too much bulky in terms of the quality. Quality does matters, quantity does not matters in any of the quality work that you are talking about, right? Whether it is research, whether it is presentation for any topics, or whatsoever in area which you are dealing with. Visual aids, obviously, instead of writing or speaking in the word, if at all the things are showing in terms of visual aids, then it creates a better understanding among the people rather than what I need to speak, right? So images, videos, that creates an understanding among the people about the various topic that we are trying to download to them, right? So yes, visual aids needs to be utilized, right? So that's it from my side. Thank you so much. I'm making this session open for the question answer. So if you have any questions, please ask me. Yes, please. Any questions? Okay, no doubt. Okay, still, if anybody wants to speak. Okay, then, Nikita madam, over to you. No doubt at all. Okay, no issue. Nikita madam is not here. But yeah, so thank you so much for connecting. Thank you, RFI team, and Ajay sir, Saurabh sir, Nikita madam for coordinating this event and inviting me today. So thank you so much for connecting. Right. So wonderful. Have a wonderful journey for the coming time period for the happy learning. Thank you so much. Uh, Yeah, Yograj sir is here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.